coming to you now from Marathona in Greece. So I just want to welcome you here with my heart. You've come to a safe place. You've come to a place where everybody wants to build you, wants to encourage you, wants to find the best in you, and wants to cheer you and uplift you. And I'm so grateful today to have wonderful Lucy here, my wonderful, wonderful Lucy, my lovely assistant. It's her birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, beautiful Lucy, for tomorrow. A lovely Aries who reached out to me just over a year ago today. And we've never looked back, have we, Lucy? So I want to thank you for being online here today. And I'm going to talk about the ingress of all these planets going into Taurus and what that means and how it relates very much to money, love, your senses, your security, your sense of stability or instability, as it may be. So we're building up to a very, very intense full supermoon, pink supermoon, on the 26th, 27th of April. And this pink supermoon is extremely intense. I will talk more about it as we get even closer. The moon is in Scorpio. And if you can imagine, there's one planet only in Scorpio, and all the other planets are above the horizon. Everything else is above, and the planet in Scorpio is like the handle to an umbrella. Or some people may turn it upside down and call it a bucket chart. So you've got a handle and a bucket, whichever way you like. I like the umbrella myself. So we've got an intensity building emotionally. And maybe you're already feeling it. Maybe you're already feeling, oh, the emotions are strong. I've been having it the last couple of nights. My dear Antony, my outside kitty, he's got into the most terrible fights. It's frightening. In the middle of the night, everything goes bang, bang, meow, meow. You know what cats are like when they get into that space. Well, honestly, I feared for his life. I really did. And I mean, I got up. There was no chance of sleeping when everything is just crazy out there. And I couldn't see him, and I couldn't see the other cats. And he didn't come in the morning. So I was really worried. I thought, oh no, Antony, I hope hope you're all right. And I was looking for him everywhere. Antony, puisse, where are you? And then just after lunch, he came meowing, right as rain, nothing a bit wrong with him, starving hungry, and I fed him. So that's been a little bit of the process that I've been experiencing, is that there's an intensity in the animals. I think some of them are mating. I think it's that kind of a season. And the energy is powerful. And I think many of us are feeling as though we're going through dark places, not all the time necessarily, but it's like, whoosh, I'm in a dark place. And how can I get out? It's almost like being in a birth canal. And I can't get out, and it's dark, and I can't see my way out. And you're going to need this energy, this extra strength, knowing that you're strong. And that no matter how difficult it seems to be, and how many emotions are triggered, you can face those fears. And the big thing that's coming up is a lot of fixed energy, right? A lot of planets going into fixed signs. And thank you, Lucy. Lucy is encouraging you, please, to like the video. Would you like the video? If you do, of course. And then more of our soul family can join us together, because this is a co-creation. I have a few things that I think about and meditate on, but nothing is fixed. And together we're creating something magical and uplifting. So think about, what are you maybe afraid of releasing? Katie was saying to a friend, we're all in labor being constricted. Yes, dreaming of crawling through corridors. Yes, I've been dreaming of crawling through tunnels. Yeah. But there is light. We are coming into light. So what are you holding on to, or what are you not willing to let go of because you're frightened? It might be a relationship. It might be a job, might be a home. It might be something that you know you're not enjoying anymore. You know you're kind of stuck. Is there anything? Let's share. Let's see if there's anything coming up. Because all this fixed energy, chances are you're going to want to hold on even more. And Uranus in Taurus is encouraging you to shake up your habit patterns, shake up the usual things that you're very comfortable with. So for me, it feels like a very big risk, but I've been feeling for a long time now that I want to put more of my energy and focus into doing webinars and teaching and sharing the mystical moments of astrology with you, and enabling and empowering you to do a lot of it for yourself. And much as I've enjoyed doing the one-on-one readings, and I still do, thank you, Jez, I'm totally booked up. So I'm not taking, this feels like a big thing, yeah? Woohoo! Big fear thing. I've decided that I have to walk my talk. If I'm telling you to follow what you love, and I'm telling you to let go of the things that you don't like as much anymore, or that you know you want to release and move on from, then I've got to walk my talk. So I'm not taking on any more new clients for the rest of this year. And that feels like a big, bold move. So what's your big, bold move? And when I get a little fearful and I get a little bit jittery, I sing. Or I laugh. And I love this quote by George Martin. Laughter is poison to fear. When you can start laughing about it, the fear's not dominating you anymore. So what is it that you are feeling and knowing that you need to let go of, and you're kind of just holding on for safety, you're holding on for security, but you want to put your energy and your time into something else, and you need to honor that part of you. So, okay, Miyuki is letting go of what other people think, and you feel so much lighter, how wonderful. Yes, laughter's the best medicine. Lumpy custard, moving house, great. Thank you, Anri. Yeah, I'm going to be doing more of these webinars. It's where my heart is. Lucy and I get to work together more. It's very creative. And I'm wanting to birth, since there's a birthing process happening here. It's definitely a birthing process into the new astrology for the new paradigm of togetherness and unity and oneness that we're moving towards. That's what I'm wanting to birth. And I just feel this is really where my heart, my soul is. I've got a few other projects as well that I'm very excited about. Plus, I'm in the middle of one book on channeling, my experience and growth into channeling, which I will be sharing. I will also be sharing, and this feels like all, scary stuff, but got to keep moving into it. Channeling videos, how to channel. As much as I've learned, thank you, Laura, for that. I appreciate that. So I'll be doing stuff about the channeling and also about Chiron and the transiting moon and transits and progressions and the part of fortune and so many things that I want to share with you in the astrology and the channeling. So this is great. So Kira's not going back to your job after maternity leave and you're embracing being a full-time mum. Woohoo! Sarah's going to let go of a poor diet. 2A, the peas, we will share some peas later. So follow your heart. And Sally, I'm not giving up the personal readings. I've still got quite a lot on my books. And there is a waiting list. I am taking a waiting list because things can always change. And at the same time, I'm making some space for something new. So your partner and you're moving to the countryside, leaving your jobs and starting a new life. Woohoo, Andrea. Yes. You're giving your business a fresh lick of paint, an invitation to change your story. Awesome. Karamia shaking things up in relationships. I love this. We're getting involved. Get involved here with us together. Yeah. Thank you, Shirley. Yeah. We support one another. I am hoping that this channel, together with Lucy, helping very much in the moderation, is very much about following your heart. Yes, there's going to be much more online interaction, more lives, more webinars, more teaching, more sharing, and this, as I said, changing astrology, the evolution of astrology from competition to cooperation, away from fear and into freedom and inspiration. Because much of astrology has been portrayed as, oh, you've got Saturn in the 5th house, you may never have children. Oh, you've got those 8th house planets. It looks as though you won't be very lucky with money. Yes, there's been a lot of fear mongering. So I'm hoping to be a part of this energy here of coming together and supporting the very highest expression that you can be. And this is what this is about. Now, I'm coming to Bitcoin. I'm coming to the money. I'm not sure what to do first. Thank you for liking the video. It really helps. Suzanne's left life in the pharmacy and you're going to start something more in line with your soul's guidance. Woohoo! Awesome. Sarah's birthing a new home and a new community. Beautiful. Indigo Ray's moving to the countryside, starting a new life, cleaning out the past. Awesome. We're cheering each other. We are one another's cheerleaders. This is the astrology and channeling cheerleading channel. As we move out of the industrial age, the age of hard work, the age of polluting our crops, our air, our bodies. We're moving out of that paradigm and we're moving into a much cleaner paradigm. We have to do it anyway. COVID's been our warning. Now we've got to clean our act up. And this is what I'm hoping to create with you together. This is a togetherness. So, because we are very shortly going to have the sun, we've already got Venus, Mercury, Uranus is already there in Taurus. The subject of money, the subject of what to do with money and what's changing with money is likely to become a very big subject. It's a hot subject. Why is it hot right at the moment? Well, Bitcoin has plummeted this week along with Ethereum. They are the two big cryptocurrencies. I'm very aware that I want to make this information. I'm quite versatile with the financial field because I'm trained in that, but I want to make this information as valuable as I can to the widest audience. I know some of you are very proficient in this area, but I'm going to try and make it understandable for the everyday Joe, which I really feel as though I am anyway. But the cryptocurrencies have plunged this week. 13%, I think 12, 13%, quite a lot in a very short space of time. And people have asked me for a long time, should I buy cryptos? And of course, young people, many young people have invested in the cryptos and have done very well. The question is, how does it look as though things are moving forward? Bitcoin was born on the 3rd of January, 2009. So this was just after this global, the stock market crash. It began during the Great Recession, and Bitcoin began during the opposition of Saturn and Uranus. And I've been talking so much about the square, this final square that we're under, of Saturn and Uranus. So I feel as though cryptocurrencies are coming to a critical point. So I think we're going to see more abrupt changes, more abrupt shifts. Cryptocurrencies are not for the faint-hearted. They are going to be very up to the moon and down again. If you look at Bitcoin, how many times it's nearly gone off the boards. In 2011, it crashed 93%, 2012, 50%, 2013, 80%, 2014, 93%, 2020, 47%. So you may buy at, let's say, 50,000, it might drop to 20,000. So don't borrow money to buy cryptos. If you want to have a punt and you want to put 1% of your wealth into cryptos, good luck, go for it. But if you're looking to trust that you're going to be able to, 1%, I've answered you. 1% is what I'd recommend at the moment. Bitcoin has recently been banned in Turkey. We don't know whether other governments are going to ban it. I do think digital currencies, especially as we move in 2025, when Uranus goes into Gemini, I think digital currencies will be the thing. But between now and then, you've got to have very strong stomach muscles if you're going to put a lot of money into cryptocurrencies. Certainly Ethereum looks as though it's a good bet. I think for many, Bitcoin at 50,000, it's out of the way. Apparently there are criminals who hide their proceeds in Bitcoin. I think at some point it's going to get regulated. It's banned in India as well. Thank you. Fresh air tokens. That's a great description, Susan. Yes. And some people will be doing really well with it, and fantastic if you're doing really well. I'm thrilled for you. But there are many people who are asking, what now? Coinbase this week, which is the largest retail seller of cryptocurrencies, went on to the NASDAQ. It was a big IPO, very successful. So they are going to be something of a contender. But for me, I would say be very careful. I think that there's going to be abrupt changes, abrupt disturbances, and suddenly a law change, because we're under Saturn, which has to do with the law and the legal and the governments and the powers that be, suddenly introducing a law that takes away the privacy of Bitcoin. That's one of its largest attractions. And it could just plummet hugely. So I'd say if you've made money, take some profits. Take a bit of money out, do something else with the money, maybe. I think it's going to come under a great deal of pressure next year, the 1st to the 12th of January 2022. I've been looking at the charts. Uranus and Venus are triggering the chart of Bitcoin. So I think also on January the 19th, we've got the nodes going into Taurus and Scorpio, which is going to be even more disruption with money. And Uranus goes direct on the 19th, again shaking things up, maybe as a downturn or as an upturn, we don't know. So I'm just going to say be careful. They are like playing with fire. And my recommendation still, based on what I'm seeing astrologically, would to be invest in silver. Silver for the everyday person who doesn't have a lot of money. And even if you do have a lot of money, silver is going to be used in more and more digital technologies, in more and more electric cars, all kinds of things that are coming in battery technology. Silver is going to be, it's a bargain right now. You can get in silver right now. I think if you actually want the physical, I would say you might have to pay up to $30 an ounce, but $30, most people could afford that. Yeah. So I'm trying to help those who want to put money somewhere, because cash, they're killing your cash. Biden's plan now with the trillion, X trillion, whatever stimulus plan is devaluing your cash. It's making it less and less valuable. So put it into some silver. If you can, put it into some gold. They are very undervalued right now. Other people will say otherwise. That's okay with me. I'm still sticking to what I'm seeing astrologically. It doesn't mean to say, I think that gold is going to go to the moon. I think silver will go to the moon, but they are real. They're real, they're tangible. The Bitcoins can disappear overnight. So only buy physical. Yes, thank you, Mr. Buttercake. Will the 1% still be as well for Lena Luna? I'm afraid so. What has to change, especially with more of these stimulus packages, it makes the rich even richer. So what has to happen is that a new system comes in, whether it's the replacement of capitalism, I don't know at this point, but we need a system that is equitable. Uranus in Taurus, the more equitability of our survival needs. This is what the astrology is showing us, that between now, and 2025-6, while Uranus is in Taurus, we're going to be looking at how are we going to divide the wealth, the abundance that exists on this planet. How are we going to divide it in a much more equitable way? There's a huge shortage of silver at the moment. How to invest in silver and gold. Anna, we'll put some links in at the bottom of the video, right? Lucy and I will discuss that later. Okay. Certainly buy silver 1 ounce coins and bars. Well, yeah. Stop. Thank you, April. Hi, April. Welcome. So we're going to see big companies eating up the little companies, the little man. And we're going to be looking at the survival. So banks are going to want to keep control. The 1% is going to want to keep control. And we, the people, need to find ways and look at countries, nations that are doing things in good ways and allow that to influence us. So I can give you some examples. Let's look at land and property. Many people say, well, shall I buy real estate as an investment? Well, I'm going to say, be careful with real estate now. Why? If you're going to invest in real estate as an investment, not for somewhere for you to live in, that's a different kettle of fish. But if you're going to invest money and even borrow money to invest in real estate, you need to be sure that people have got jobs and they can pay the rent, which in turn will pay your mortgage. If people don't have jobs, and likelihood millions will not, and these stimulus packages, as nice as they are, have consequences to them. So unless you buy real estate knowing that you've got a job market and people can pay your rent, I'd be very careful about where you buy and buying real estate at this time. Just keep your eye on it. Yeah, I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but I'm saying these are the things to think about. What we need to begin to come up with is ways in which we all partake of the abundance on the earth, that none of us can rest and sleep at night until we know that every person has got food in their tummies, and the animals for that matter, and that every person has got shelter, that every person has got energy that they need to live on, and that the basics are met. Yes, new homes are unaffordable. All right, so absolutely. Now, we need humane laws being introduced. So tiny homes are a big rage. The issue with the tiny homes for many is that finding the land to put a tiny home on. Often it's the 1% who own the land and who want a lot of money for it. I think it depends where you are, but okay. I think that we have to look at how do we make housing affordable for the many? I had a terrible time in New Zealand. This was one of the reasons I couldn't stay in New Zealand. The housing situation there is inequitable. It's actually unconscionable the way it's set up. It really is. And I don't know how the poor end of the people in New Zealand are going to make it. There have to be they've introduced some new laws, but they're not enough and not quickly enough. And this is just my personal view. But for the rent to be so high and for there to be so few good, decent, weather-tight properties on the market for a reasonable price, I think this has to change. I was reading today, apparently the cost of housing, for example, in Sydney, you're going to have to pay something like $900,000 for a reasonable kind of property. And in America, in many states, it will be maybe $250,000, much less. So there are many discrepancies. Yeah, it's not right. The system is rigged. And we, the people, Uranus in Taurus is about we, the people, how can we create more equitable systems? Now, in Austria, for example, in Vienna, I believe, I don't know quite the percentage, but I think 60% of the housing stock is social housing. So this means that no matter what income you have, no matter what, most people can get some help towards their housing. And even better, in Austria, you are not thrown out. Thank you, Ramona. You are not thrown out. This was the thing that happened to me in New Zealand every time I was somewhere. Oh, no, sorry, you can't stay here. Oh, no, sorry, you can't stay. We can get more money on Airbnb. No, we don't want you to stay. Thank you very much. No. In Florida, I believe, for example, if you rent, or it used to be the case, that you could only get a year's contract, and then the landlord could throw you out or raise the rent. No, 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 no. I just have to say that we've got to find new systems where everybody somehow is taken care of. And let's take what we've learned from the best of the best and work that in to where areas need more help. We've got a huge job to do with redistributing our resources. This planet has more than enough to feed everybody. Uranus in Taurus, this is what we've got to create. Let's create a community in Greece, community everywhere. Yeah, money, 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 money. Lisa in Cabaret. Money, Pink Floyd. Yes, money, 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 ABBA. I wanted to play some of these today, but they're all highly copyrighted. So I won't be playing that, but I will be playing something else at the end. So I think it's important now that we look at our values. I did a little poll on my community page on YouTube, and I communicate there a lot. And I asked you, post-COVID, because Uranus in Taurus is shaking up our values, what are your values now? Have they changed? And 84% of you said yes. Here's what you said now. Some of you have become more spiritual. You're thinking more deeply. Some of you are valuing inner peace and freedom. Some of you are valuing your intuition and your insight more. Many of you have said family and friends are everything, and no longer money and work, work, work. Some of you are valuing the smaller things in life and community. Some of you are putting your own needs first. That's the key. So now let's share here. What are your new values? What's really important to you now? For me, it became clear that I valued, first of all, having a home and a roof over my head, where I would be able to stay for a while and I wasn't going to get moved on. Now, as it happened, I did in the end find somewhere that was absolutely beautiful. But other circumstances also contributed to the move. But what I am seeing is now what's important to you now. Thank you, CER. I appreciate that. What's most valuable to you now? What's your heart calling you towards? Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Lucy. Shout out to Lucy. Shout out to April. They're helping in this chat here. They are really smoothing and greasing and oiling. Yeah, they're like my WD-40. Yes, nothing is rusty or creaky. They keep everything flowing. Thank you. Yeah, building communities from the bottom up. Yeah, people are leaving expensive condos and buying little tiny homes and loving it. Beautiful. So there are big changes, yeah, valuing your inner transformation and awakening. And all the energy that the cryptocurrencies use. Yes, they use huge volumes of electricity and contribute to the carbon footprint. So it's important to begin to look at these values. Because what we begin to value now, what I value more than anything, is connecting with nature, Mother Nature, Divine Mother, being in tune with the rhythms of nature, connecting with you from the heart, doing the best I can to keep myself well and happy, and waking up singing. Literally waking up singing with a song in my heart when I can hear the birds and often hear the barking dogs and the screeching cats. I'm grateful for all of it, most of the time. So where do you need to loosen up? Where must we loosen up a bit? Not dig our heels in, because the fixed energy will show you what you are no longer willing to live with. It really will. Oh, truth seeker would be happy living on tomatoes or tomatoes, depending where you live. Great. Heart connections, creativity. Yes, April, beautiful. Taking nothing for granted, Katie Marianne, and telling people when you love them and you're grateful. Beautiful. I love this. My Auntie Jenny's 99th birthday was yesterday. She went out for a meal, first time she's been out. I bought her some masks. She asked, she wanted some pretty masks. And she was so excited. She said, I wore this flowery one. She said, but I didn't wear it when I was eating, of course. And she had the best time. And she said, do you know what? The whole restaurant stood up and clapped. She said, I couldn't believe it. I was overwhelmed. And then secretly, somebody from the restaurant paid her bill, paid the whole table's bill anonymously. There was no way of finding out who it was because the waiter wouldn't say, he was sworn to secrecy. The person just said they were so inspired by Jenny and just wanted to contribute. So we can do nice things for one another. Yeah. I love this, Akil Yalond. Community on land that's independent from the banking system, capacity to produce food, all these things. We've got to take things back to grassroots levels. Uranus, Taurus. But also, how do we sensibly use technology to be able to do, let's say, less of the legwork and do things intelligently so that we can make sure everybody's got access to clean water and food and shelter, and that everybody has that, and healthcare. This is what we're going for. This is what we're really going for. So I think it's very interesting that the USA was born at 13 degrees of Capricorn, of Cancer, on the 4th of July 1776. Bitcoin is exactly opposite that at 13 degrees of Capricorn. The US dollar was founded at 13 degrees of Aries, and the Chinese yuan founded at 13 degrees of Libra. We have a grand cardinal cross at 13 degrees, which is a power degree in the cardinal signs that's going on right now. So there is a fight, in a way, between these forces. The United States going to go into their Pluto return next year, and the Neptune opposition. Big year for the US, a big year for the Chinese and their digital currencies. A big year for the US dollar. Is it going to continue to be the reserve currency? And Bitcoin, what's that going to trigger? And how's that going to play out? So I think these are really amazing things that are coming. Thank you for liking the video. So Lucy is encouraging you to sign up for the free newsletter, to like the video. Thank you. Thank you. So, there's always more that one can share, but what I would like to say is Never be afraid to try something new. Remember, amateurs built the Ark and professionals built the Titanic. This is an unknown person. And smiles are free, but they're worth a lot. Taurus rules your food. I just want to finish on the food thing because I think food is a very big thing. I love to touch my food, all right? I don't actually like eating. I mean, I do when I'm with company, but I don't actually like eating with a fork. I like chopsticks actually better, but I like touching my food. And Taurus is very sensual, and I like sensing the food. Is this right for me today? And I like being grateful for it and touching it. I had a viewer write in and say, that as you kiss your teddies, I kiss my vegetables that I put into my salads, and it keeps them crispy and fresh for a month or more. And my Auntie Jenny, I have to say, David, her son, said, how come your flowers last so long? She said, because I talk to them. I say, hello, my darlings. Oh, you need a bit of water, don't you? Come on, then, I'm going to give you a drink. And it's true, her flowers last the longest. Her house is completely filled with cards and flowers. And I would like to, yes, we were given hands for a reason. Yes, wooden utensils, chopsticks, silver forks. Okay, everybody has their own way. And Lucy, in typical French style, is mopping her food up with her bread. That's very français, n'est-ce pas? So, so the only piece of music that I've found that I'm thinking is not copyright, well, certainly the music itself is not copyright because dear Beethoven is sadly long gone, but he left us a wonderful legacy. But he wrote a piece for piano, and it's called Rage Over a Lost Penny. And I think that it's very applicable. It's Rondo e Capriccio, opus 129. This is played by Natalie Shvamova, and she plays it really fast. And somebody said, well, I'm very glad he didn't lose $1. So I'm going to play this piece to you. We'll have teddies join in, teddies and dog and little New Zealand lamb, and more teddies, everybody joining in here. And here we go. Here we go with Rage Over a Lost Penny. So that was the rage over a lost penny. There is more, but I wanted just to say thank you, Lucy. Thank you, April, today. Happy birthday, Lucy, for tomorrow. And thank you for joining me here online, all of you. Thank you for liking the video. And it's just an honor and a joy. I'm excited to hear what your ideas are, the things you're letting go of, where you're trusting, where you're moving through your fears, and what you're seeing for the wider picture and where you think you fit in. So much, much love to you. Bye for now.